I think it was the political strategist Chardet who called Sean Duffy a smooth operator. He was on TV. He talking about
Sade or Sade? I mean, that was a little. I'm a little bit of an aficionado on this.
yeah. How do you pronounce her name? Sade?
Sade.
Sade?
Yeah.
Sade? Okay. I thought it was Charday. Anyway, the guy was on TV talking about Newark this morning. I would have bought a Qatari plane from him. He was such a buttery voice and handsome and everything. It seems like Newark is not the only problem, right? The air traffic control system in general is antiquated. The shortage of controllers is a real issue. Dan, how big a political threat and a substantive problem is this? And is Sean Duffy the man to solve it? I normally don't ask two-part questions, but I just like saying the phrase Sean Duffy.
Look, it's a huge political problem. It's a huge real life problem. And, Sean Duffy may be the right person. Look, the challenge is one, you're now, 3, 4 months into President Trump's term. And what you're coming up on is summer travel, Memorial Day, July 4th. A lot of people take vacations in July and August, kind of before school. And so obviously, God forbid, there is another deadly incident, but even reports of incidents, delays, shortages, when real lives of real people, if you miss your vacation, you can't get your money back, you are pissed. And if you, yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think that's the headache. It's like gas prices rising at 4th of July. It's a headache.
I will just say this. I cannot, how do I do this, Mark? Overstate how great of a job Sean Duffy has done communicating the
Totally agree.
the
Totally
status of,
agree.
and here's why. From a comm standpoint, there's always a balance of trying not to blame your predecessor, right? Because you've got to be careful. But he has framed this debate so well, because you can't just put an ATC operator in a tower in Newark or JFK or LAX or DCA. They need to be familiar with the airspace and the flight patterns. It takes about a year and a half to get trained, right? Never mind the system. I mean, Duffy's gone out there and talked about the copper wires, the floppy disks. This has been a pervasive problem for decades. Trump tried to, during his first term, solve this problem. Congress rejected it. But I
But
remember
then, but then Trump failed. Just to be clear, he tried and
well,
failed.
but no. Well, I
Can't
mean,
blame Congress. He had a Republican Congress for part of the time.
for part of it.
Trump can't act like he hadn't previously been president.
No. But he tried. He acknowledged the problem
There
before.
there is
Oh,
no
as every single transportation secretary ever.
there is no try do, as Yoda
Right.
says.
I
Okay,
mean,
fine, fair
He
enough.
didn't he
But
didn't
the
fix
bottom
it.
line
Didn't
is,
fix it.
but Sean Duffy is actually tackling the problem, and I think
I agree.
articulating
Yeah.
the extent to which it happens. Because to Dan's problem, at some point, if God forbid something happens, understanding the context that Sean Duffy can't put 5 bodies in the tower at Newark or DCA and say it's fixed. That's just impossible,
Yeah.
right? And so making sure that people understand the scope of the problem, that you can't just take a system, not just the people, but the infrastructure of it, and fix it in 2 seconds. And so I give him a ton of credit for his public posture in
Who
doing this.
who is
look, I
president?
think, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
mean, look, you're right, Sean. It is good to explain. It is good to lay out the process. But I'm sorry. Like, now you need to fix. You need to rush. You need to rush training. You need to hire more people. Like, I'm sorry, but everything you just explained sounds like the Biden administration talking about like 90% of their stuff. It takes
There was
time. This is the
3,000,
process.
3,000. Hold on, just on the
Sean, I hear you. But Americans aren't going to be like, great, a year
Who
and a
was
half. On
who
No,
was
no, that,
who
I,
was
they're not.
who
This
was
is not.
who was president when Y2K brought America to its knees? Was that Bill Clinton?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they spent all that time getting ready for it.
So I'm a student of crises and threatened crises and how presidents and administrations prepare for them and deal with them. And like, what was the name of that oil spill, that oil
Oh, in the
leakage
Gulf.
for
Yeah.
under Obama, right?
Yeah.
Like when presidents deal with these things, they're like never again. Whole of government, we got to get in front of this. We got to not only deal with it substantively, but we have to be seen as dealing with it. And you saw it with Katrina and Bush, right? Trump, again, it's part of like the inexplicable magic of Trump. Like he doesn't usually get caught up in these things because he changes the subject with some mean social media post. But I will say, Sean Duffy is like, again, I know I'm saying a little over the top. He's like whole of government by himself. He's so active and communicating, and I'm listening to him. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but he seems very substantive. He seems like to really understand the problem. He was on CNBC this morning. He apologized for getting a little wonky about how the system for Philadelphia, for Newark, was transferred from the New York communications apparatus to Philadelphia. I really think the guy is doing what you need to do to stay in front of it. And if I were Trump, I'd be very grateful to him, assuming there's no crisis.
I talked to a Republican senator a couple weeks back who said that when Duffy had come up to testify, one of their Democratic counterparts said to them afterwards, "Holy smokes, I was blown away by his command of the issues for a guy who just came into the job." Duffy has jumped into the deep end of these transportation issues in a way that gives him that authority when he goes on television to talk about the problems that exist and the path forward. But just to be clear, again, you cannot put a guy or a person, gender, neutral here, in a tower in under a year and a half. It's impossible to speed that process up. And I don't want someone sitting in a tower, frankly, that's not trained, that can handle that knows the difference between what planes can come in and come out, etc.
That was a delicious video experience. I think you'll agree. Now, what you need to do in return for getting to enjoy that is hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community. Never miss a thing.